Fine. Thanks for joining me. Bella from Bella Yoga. Just today we are going to be doing a little practice, just focusing on knees. So not so much about doing things with the knees, but how we can actually protect our knees as we go through the different asanas and really strengthening the top of our legs, the muscles that are so fundamental in keeping our knees protected as we walk or as we do different movements and play sport and that. So we'll be focusing on all four sides of the legs, just bringing awareness to that. So before we begin, let's just bring ourselves into a comfortable seated position with a nice straight back and neck, relaxed shoulders, and gently closing our eyes. And just take a few moments before we begin to bring ourselves to our mat, to our practice, as we connect with our breath, connect to our bodies. And just take a few long breaths. So starting to slow the breath down, starting to lengthen the breath. And just notice if you're holding on to any tension, and just softening and relaxing. Really starting to notice yourself drawing the breath more from your belly. So you're starting to use your diaphragm to its full potential. So really using your diaphragm, drawing that breath up from the belly to the chest, and then letting the breath go, relaxing it out from the chest down towards the belly. Just a few rounds. This nice long connected breath. Noticing if your face is nice and relaxed, you're not clenching your jaw or frowning, just having a nice happy forehead. The shoulders feel relaxed, and you're not holding on to tension in the glutes and the legs and the arms. Just connecting to our bodies. And just take a couple more rounds of nice long yogic breaths, that diaphragmatic breathing. Breathing in love, breathing out love. And whilst we're here just tuning in, I'd like us to just say 3 arms. So just the 3 elements of the universe, which we like to call the mind, body, and breath. So taking a nice big breath in. And first just exhale through the mouth. Our next breath in. We'll start our arm. Breathing in again. Final breath in. Just take a few moments there. It's really a good way to warm up the lungs, warming up the vocal cords. So full body, a full warm up. And also just connecting us back to the vibrations of the universe. Some call it neurons, protons, and electrons, and others may call it Father, Son, Holy Spirit, whatever your beliefs, whatever you are. Just using that vibration of the universe that serves us all, and we serve it. Let's bring our hands together in front of our heart. Give our palms a brisk rub, starting to get that energy building up. Feel the warmth between the palms, and then place those palms over our eyes as we blink back into the light. We take our hands away, begin with our greeting of love and peace. Namaste, thank you for being here. And we're going to uncross and recross our legs, just give our legs a break. If you do have a block or maybe a cushion, just keeping that close by, as we will use that just to help strengthen up those legs. So we'll start with a bit of warming up. So interlace the fingers, palms turn up towards the ceiling for a nice big stretch. Keep the shoulders relaxed and then stretching over to the right side of the body. Keep the chest lifted, left sit bone rooted back, coming back to center and to the other side. And then come back to center, start turning the palms in as we bend the elbows, bring the palms to the heart. And then take a big breath again, up we go, nice big stretch, over to the right. Come back to center and to the left. Inhaling center, bring the palms to the chest. This time taking the fingers and replacing them again, this time with the opposite baby finger underneath. So interlacing them, so it feels a little bit weird. And then we take the palms up again, exhaling to the left this time. Come back to center, to the right. Keep rooting down through those sit bones. Keep that length in the spine. Back to center, palms to the heart. Taking it up. To the left. And ending to the right. Letting go of the fingers and just raining them down to either side. And a few shoulder rolls, just loosening up. Letting go of your morning, of your day, whatever time you're doing this, just giving your shoulders, and then in the opposite direction, get a bit of movement, giving yourselves a little massage, and then come back to center. We're going to straighten out those legs, and as I was talking earlier on, and just come onto the tips of your sit bones so we're nice and tall through that spine. So we're going to focus on those 4 areas of our legs, so the quads, the external abductors, internal abductors, and then the hamstrings and the glutes as well, although the glutes we want to try not to get them too involved. So we're going to just get some movement, hands supporting us, so we're still nice and tall wherever your hands need to be, just to give you that length, flexing that right foot and lifting it up a little bit off the floor, and just bending and stretching that leg, so getting movement in the knee and the hip. Starting to loosen up. Starting to lubricate those joints with movement. And then let's bring that leg back to center, opposite leg, flexing foot, bringing knee in and out. Getting rid of any little kinks. And then bring that leg back to center. This time the right leg will come up, and just take the toes out to the side. And just start pressing that heel away, and just see if you can start feeling that in the muscle on that inner leg starting to wake up. That internal abductor, just starting to feel and see if that has any implications on your knee, if it feels all right, if you need to move it around a bit. And then come back to center and to the other side, again pressing that heel away. And just see if you get the external muscle now here, see if you can feel that. And come back to center, keep pressing the heel over to the side. Back to center, to the other side. And let's go for one last round. Center, side, keep waking that up. Make sure you're not locking your knee. Back to center and to the other side. As we come back, rest the foot down, relax it for a moment. And get ready, left foot lifts up, toes out to the right, to the left. Pressing the heel away, again, just bring that awareness there, starting to notice that inside of the thigh. Come back to center, to the other side, again, starting to notice what it feels like. I can feel this side of mine is a bit tense, and that's probably because I pulled the hamstring some months ago, so it's still feeling tight. Back to center, to the other side. Always keeping a slight softness in the knee, again, also helps. As soon as the knee is slightly soft, the muscles just above just start engaging. Let's go for our last round. Pressing that heel away. and to the other side. Good. Come back to center, relax. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor and just windscreen wipe the legs from side to side. Good, and then let's bring the knees back to center. We're going to come into cat-cow, keeping your block or cushion nearby for later. Let's bring those wrists underneath shoulders, knees are hip distance apart. As we take a nice big breath in, draw the shoulder blades back. Tailbone goes up, open the chest as we gaze up towards the ceiling or to our third eye. Exhale, round up that spine, chin to the chest, maybe tuck the toes, give them a stretch. 2 more times, root down through those hands, open up the chest, tailbone up. Exhale, rounding up, tucking toes under, chin to the chest, stretch between those shoulder blades. Final time, nice big breath in. And then a nice big exhale. And then let's come back to center. This time we're going to open up the chest, gazing up, take the right leg, flex the foot and curl it up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, bring the knee towards the forehead, squeezing out the breath. Tiger pose, inhaling, gazing up, stretching that leg up, rounding up. And then back to center. And switching sides, nice big breath in, opens the chest, flex that left foot up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round up. 1 more time. Nice big breath. And then come back to center. And spread out those fingers, tuck the toes under and come into down dog. A nice big stretch and down dog. Soften those knees and take a big stretch through that spine. As we tilt the tailbone up, then maybe just walking up the legs one at a time, taking our time, warming up the back of the legs, those hamstrings, releasing. And then we're back to center. Final stretch here as we look towards our hands, walk through to the top of our mats, into a forward bend. And then soften those knees, roll those shoulders, take the hands all the way back to the heart. And we'll do a quick round of a half sun salutation as we root down through our feet, energizing outwards. Let's open up those hands, nice strong Tandasana, roll those shoulders back into a gentle back bend. Come through into a forward bend and step the right foot back, knees on the mat, lift up the chest and chin. And then we step into down dog. The right heel stretches up towards the ceiling and a big stretch through the back of that left leg and stop bringing the right foot through between the hands as the left knee lands down. Lift up that chest and chin, come into a forward bend and then stop coming up. Roll up through that spine. And let's end with the left side, reaching back into a forward bend. Take that left foot back, knees on the mat, lift up the chest and chin, soften those shoulders. Into down dog. And then take the left foot up, stretch through the back of that right leg, bring the left foot through the hands as the right knee comes down, lift up the chest, and then come into a forward bend and start coming up. Use that breath as the hands come back to the heart. Then we're going to come into Tandasana. So with our block or cushion, if you're using a cushion, or you could maybe roll up a blanket or towel, you want to make it quite hard. So you may have to roll up the cushion. So we're going to bring it between the thighs, so legs are hip distance. And you want to have something that you can press into there. So I'm just going to use my block because it's a little bit sturdier. So you can really press into it. Top of the thighs. Bring those ankles. So just take a quick look down. We've got nice straight feet. Sorry, as straight as your bone structure will allow you. And then get that block nicely in between those legs. Soften the knees ever so slightly. It's just a micro bend, so just nice and soft so we're not locking them back. And then that puts the pelvis into alignment, the hips. Really rooting down through those feet, the toes, big toe. So we're rooting into the toes so we're not collapsing into those inner arches. We're energizing to the outer edges of the feet and the heels. And then see if you can just start lifting the muscle just above the knee. So if you've got it a little soft, Makes it easier. You lift that muscle and then squeezing those thighs in towards each other. So the knees aren't dropping in and the ankles aren't dropping in. We're lifting and then squeezing. Try not to squeeze the glutes. Try and just let them go and just try and have the action from those internal abductors and just using the quads. If the glutes get involved, then the legs don't do as much work and don't strengthen up as much. Just keep pressing and then take those hands. We'll just take a nice big stretch up. Relax those shoulders, reaching up. Connecting down through our feet and then come into chest. So bend the knees, stop letting the weight go back. Keep rooting through the feet, but just feel the weight shifting to those heels. Draw the shoulders away from you towards down your back. So the chest stays nice and lifted and open, and just check that the arch of your spine is feeling comfortable. It's not too under, it's not too arched up. We're just engaging that core and holding it here. And let's do that a few more times. So straighten the legs, root down, reach up with those arms. So we're lifting up and connecting down into chair. Bend the knees. Keep squeezing those legs in towards each other and rooting down through those feet. You can make this practice as hard or as soft as you want. The more you squeeze and really switch on those muscles, the more of a work it'll give you. If you just want to bring awareness, you can just take it slowly. Coming back up, root down through those feet, lift, raise those arms up, and final time back into chair. Lift up through that pelvic floor, check the weight through your feet, squeeze those inner thighs to each other, and then release. Let's take the block out for a moment. Still want to keep that awareness, that softness in the knees. And then we're going to come up onto the ball of our feet, lifting up the heels. Let's take a bit of getting used to strengthening those ankles, and you don't have to lift the heels too far back as we reach the arms back, lengthen that spine. Ooh. And another way to really strengthen the legs is through balance. So keep lifting the little muscle above the knee, try not locking that knee, come into chair. Bending the knees, this time lift the toes up, give them a nice big stretch, give those feet a little stretch, and let's do that 2 more times. Lifting heels, see if you can lift, engage those muscles, reaching back, heels come down, lift those toes up. As you exhale, squeeze that core up. Final time, reaching up. Exhaling into chair, lift those toes. Maybe go a little bit further down, make sure those knees aren't dropping in, and then relax, letting go of the pose. Give yourselves a little shake. We're going to come into warrior 2. So left foot coming towards me as the right one goes behind 90 degrees to your mat or to the front foot. Heel to heel or heel to instep for that opening, and then bend that left knee. Again, take a moment, see where that knee is heading. We want to try and engage that inner thigh. So the knee is heading to the second or third toe. And we're rooting down through the outside of that right leg, not forgetting the edge of the foot. Take the arms out, relax shoulders, reversing right hand down, left one up and over. Keep rooting down through that left foot, through that left knee. Make sure knees stacked over ankle. Or it could just be slightly ahead. We don't want to pass the toes. And come back warrior 2. So just flip the arms. And this time turn the palms. We're going to get some movement into that knee. Inhaling, straightening the leg, reaching arms up. Exhaling, bending the knee, warrior 2. Inhaling again, reaching up, straightening that left leg. It's getting some movement in the knee. Exhaling down. And final time, reaching up. Keep connected through those feet, and then exhaling down. Triangle, straighten, left leg, reach and drop. Left arm down, right one up. Trying to keep shoulders stacked above shoulder, choosing to look down or up. And again, engaging through the inside of the leg, outside of the right. Top arm starts coming forward as we start folding down, looking down, maybe bending the front leg, hands land on either side of the front foot, turn the back toes, flat on palms, step back down, dog. From here, we'll do a little flow. So shift the weight forward, bring the knees down, and then scoop the chest through. Keep those elbows close. Into a baby or full cobra. We tuck the toes under, we're back to down dog. And then let's bring the left foot through between the hands again. And this time bring the back foot slightly closer, drop the heel. So back foot's 45 degrees, so just slightly out towards pointing outwards. Bending that front knee, come all the way up to warrior one. Really get that energizing from the knee down to the heel. Switching on the top of the leg. Lifting up through that pelvic floor. May need to soften the back knee slightly so you're not overarching the back and it just draws you into neutral spine. Keep rooting through that back heel. Take the arms behind the back. Interlace fingers, open chest up. Into pyramid. Straighten the front leg and just bowing down. Let the arms guide you over. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhaling, coming back up. Bend that front leg. Open up the chest. Next breath, coming down, straighten the front leg. Let those arms just guide you over. Final time, coming up. And then as we exhale, coming over, take a moment here. Release the arms, bring them to either side of that front foot. You can soften the leg. Again, if you have a block, you can always place your hands on the block. Start shifting the weight forward. Straightening the front leg if you can. Back leg goes up into a standing split. Keep rooting down through that foot. On the floor, notice the connection. Keep engaging the top of the leg. We're going to bend the back knee and then just bringing it down to hover near the front leg. Taking it back up again, nice big stretch up. And then bringing it through, hovering. Final time, nice big stretch through. Knee comes to join the other knee. And then the final stretch up. Brings the leg all the way down to meet the standing leg. Hanging here in a forward bend for a moment. And then let's start coming up. Soften those knees. Use that core to bring us up. As the hands come back to the heart. We'll get ready to do the other side. So right leg points to me as the left one goes back. Again, rooting down through feet, just get that connection and bend that right knee, inside leg, just engaging it, switching on. The more you root through the foot, the more it'll help you engage the muscles through the legs. Outside edge, just energizing it outwards, arms are up. Let's relax shoulders. Right palm turns as we go into into reverse warrior. Keep rooting through the heel of that right leg, keeping the core engaged. Come back to warrior two. And let's get the movement in the knee. Palms turn up as we inhale, straighten right knee, reaching up. Exhaling back into warrior two. Keep the connection through the feet. Inhaling up again. Outside edges of the left foot. Final time. Good, just getting some therapy for that knee. So if we just building these good connections, and then when we're moving through the poses, much quicker, and our body will just be reminded of where to go. Into triangle, straighten, reach and drop. Right arm down, left one up, chest is nice and open. Try not to let that top arm fall back, keep it pulled into its socket. And then if you want to open the chest more, just take the twist more from the spine, the mid-back. And decide where you want to look with your head, and also just keep that engagement through the inside of the leg. Outside of the opposite leg, going to start bringing the top arm down, bend the front leg slightly, frame the foot, turn back, turn the toes, down dog we go. And then we'll shift the weight into a high plank. You can either bring your knees down first or come into chaturanga, bend the elbows, chest scoops through as we come into a baby or full cobra. Keep those shoulders relaxed, tuck the toes under back to down dog. And then bring that right foot through again between the hands. The left foot comes closer as we drop that heel into 45 degrees. Nice bend through the right leg, coming straight into warrior one. Again, check the knees not passing the toes. You should be able to see your toes. And quite nicely, as we root down, interlace those fingers, open up the chest, straighten the front leg, bowing down. Next breath coming up, bend that right leg again. Exhaling, coming through. Keep rooting down through the feet to keep you nice and stable. Take a nice big breath in. And then our final time as we come through into pyramid, just for a couple of breaths, holding here, and then release the arms either side of that front foot, soften the knee if you need to, or get your block ready, move yourself ahead and shift the weight forward, taking the back leg up into that forward, into that standing split. And let's bend left knee, bringing it down to the right, and then lifting up again. Bending, bringing the knee through, keep rooting down through the standing leg, taking it up. Final time, bend the knee through. Don't forget your heel, taking it up, and then release the foot down to the floor. Shift the weight onto both feet. Let the head hang, and then start coming up. Roll those shoulders as we come all the way up, hands bound to the heart. And we'll continue with the balance. So balance again, really good, strengthening up those legs. So if you can, especially you're at home, you can use whatever you want. Use a chair, use some support if your balance isn't that great yet, just so that we can really get the leg muscles to start engaging and working in the way that we want them to support us. And we're not worrying too much about the balance. We've got something just to keep us balanced by touching slightly. So we're not using it to completely hold us. It's just there as a comfort. So start engaging the core, lifting up through the standing leg. Feel that connection. Softening the leg. Make sure we're not locking the knee. And into half dancer. So with the left foot, the left leg, see if you could grab that foot. Take a nice long breath, settle into your balance, take your time. Try not to collapse into the standing leg. Stay nice and tall, lengthen through the spine. Draw that core in. And then see if you can just start, we're not going to go into the full pose, just start kicking the foot into the hand. Just bring yourself step forward slightly if you can. Don't worry too much if you can't. It's more about getting that push, hand into foot, foot into hand, just to again feel that connection through the top of the leg. Those muscles switching on. And keep pushing, and you're getting a bit of a workout with your arm as well. So just get that tension through hand and foot, foot and hand. Keep pressing one into the other. And there goes my balance. It's always good to have something close by. And keep lifting through the top of the knee so we're not locking the knee. Keeping it soft. And then let's release. Letting go of that foot. We're going to straighten the leg. If you can, still keep it up. If you can't, just bring it down. Flex. Straighten. Flex, release, and then bring that leg down as we shake out our standing leg and get ready to switch sides. So again, core, so important, and the connection through the leg, trying to keep it nice and lifted so the weight is evenly spread through the body. Grab that right foot, and again, find somewhere to hold on to. And then start pushing foot into hand, hand into foot, just to get that tension going, and just switching on the muscles again. So just reminding your body that they are there to support you, that it doesn't need to just all be on your knee. Don't worry too much about going into the pose unless your balance. If you can go into the full pose, that's great, continue. But today it's more about just building the strength through your legs. Really fatiguing the muscle so we can build up the strength. Try not to open up to the side, stay nice and square, and then release. You can continue with your balance, straighten the leg, And flex and point that foot just to release any tension in the ankle. And then good, bring it down, shake out the standing leg. And final time, let's take a nice wide-legged stance. Feet are parallel as we root down through the outer edges of the legs and lift up through the inner arches, lift up through the inner seams of the legs, interlace the hands behind the back. Again, draw the pelvis into neutral, squeeze the shoulders, and just start coming gently forward. See if you can come into a right angle pose. You may just be here, which is fine. Keep the spine nice and straight, or you may be able to line up completely with a flat back. So just work with your range of movements. As always, keeping the inside of the legs super active and outside of the legs too. Just take a moment to really bring that awareness. And then start coming up. Release the arms. Left arm over the right. Give yourself a hug. Lift the elbows. Give your back a nice stretch. And then release. And let's do that one more time. Open up the chest. Keep rooting down through feet. Inside legs lifting up. Outside legs rooting down. Coming all the way forward again. See if you can come a little bit further down. Just see if you can come a little bit further. We're not going all the way in. We're keeping the spine nice and long. Chest open. Legs engaged. Super energized. Try not to tense the glutes. Then start coming up again. And release the arms, hugging the other way. This time right arm over, left one under. Lift the elbows up slightly. Good. And then release. Give the arms a shake. And we're going to come into down dog. So bringing ourselves one side, step back. And plant those palms on the floor. Maybe walking out the legs. And maybe staying here. Or we can take one little flow into a high plank. Bring the knees down if you prefer. Or just come straight through with the chest into an even up dog. And then let's take a nice stretch back into child's pose for a moment. Reaching through those arms, lengthening through the back. Get those sit bones reaching down towards your heels and then start rising up through your spine. And we're going to come and lie on our backs. Just do a couple more strengthening through the legs. And so we're going to come and lie down. If it does feel uncomfortable doing it lying down, you can always just do it more seated with the hands behind you to support you. And you can always bring a pillow, a cushion, or just put your block under your head if you want to have some support on your neck whilst we do the next poses with our legs. So completely up to you. Make yourselves comfortable. Try and relax the spine down onto the floor. So we're not overarching the spine. We're going to take hands either side, rooting down. We're going to take the right foot. So flex the right foot and just lift it slightly off the floor. Just keep pushing that heel away. And then start rising that leg up. Keep flexing the foot. You may want to bend the left leg to give you a bit more support and bring that right leg towards you. See if you can interlace the fingers behind the leg. And then again, we'll get that tension through. So pushing the leg, energizing the leg into the hands, and then pulling the hands back into the leg. Keep the chest open so we're not rounding up. We're just getting that energy through the arms, through the leg. Keep rooting down through your supporting leg. And then release. Bend the knee, relax the arm, relax the leg down. As we get ready to switch sides, let's flex that left foot. Rooting down through the opposite leg. Left foot starts rising up towards the ceiling. Maybe bend the right leg to give you some back support. Take the hands around the left leg. Then again, energize the back of that leg into the hands and pull the hands in towards the leg. Really feel that strength through your leg, through your arms. Keep the chest lifted, opened, shoulders drawn back. Opposite leg keeps supporting you. Good, and then release. Take the hands to the side, bring that leg back down. Let's bend both legs, get the heels in nice and close to you. Tilt the pelvis slightly. We're going to come into a bridge pose, shoulder bridge pose. Bring the block between the top of your thighs. Again, get the feet nice and straight. Get the knees nicely active, pointing up. And again, this also gives you a feeling for how hip distance apart your legs should be when you're not using a block or having a cushion between your thighs. Hands are close to your heels. Going to root down through the feet, really connect through the feet. Keep pressing into the feet, pressing into the hands. Start feeling your pelvis. The more you root into your feet, lifting up, keep squeezing the thighs, inner thighs together. Those internal abductors, keep squeezing them in. Try not to squeeze your glutes. Now this will take a little bit of concentration. So it really helps you get completely into the pose, but try not to squeeze your glutes. Just try and squeeze those inner thighs together. Really take your awareness there. Try and keep the glutes relaxed. They will tense, but try not to tense them that extra bit. It does take some practice, so you're really using the legs. And so it just goes to show you how our glutes sometimes can take away from using our legs, and then we end up putting extra weight on our knees and relax. Start rolling down through your spine. Take the block out to the side. Bring the knees up to your chest and just take a little rock from side to side. And then we're going to come back to center and just circle the knees apart and together. Give the legs, the back a little massage. And then in the opposite direction. And then let's come back. Bring the knees, take the arms around the legs as the knees come into the chest. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, squeeze those legs into your abdomen as you release the spine on the mat. And then release the legs. Let's end our practice in Shavasana. Give those legs a little break. Let the feet just drop out to the sides as you relax the ankles. Take the arms out to the sides, palms facing up. Chin is nice and relaxed as the neck is lengthened and relaxed. We're going to put on something warm or get a few more cushions, maybe even a bolster underneath your knees to truly relax those legs and the knees. Just take a moment to do that. And just settle in. Letting the tension leave the body. And you can either spend the next few minutes here, maybe put me on pause and just stay in Shavasana for a few minutes with some music, or you might want to end with me when we're done, just in seated meditation. So just let everything relax. Just feel yourselves being gently pulled back down onto the mat as every little muscle in your body starts relaxing again. Breath is relaxed, and just let the mind relax, not holding on to thoughts. If you do want to end with me in seated meditation, then do come up onto your right side. Otherwise, you may want to just pause me and continue with your Shavasana for a little bit longer. If we're coming back up to seated, let's bring our hands together in front of our heart. Place our thumbs in our sternum with our eyes soft or gently closed. We end our practice with love. by always thinking kind thoughts, saying kind words, doing kind deeds, and being kind to ourselves. And namaste. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you soon.